So hello everybody, hope you're well. And today we will do a short flight from Venice to Genoa using the Ifly 737 inside my home cockpit touchscreen simulator. Here we are inside the cockpit now, and let's take a look to the flight plan. So here's the route. And we depart from Lima India Papa Zulu here, which is Venice airport, and this is the arrival. This is the route, and we after Chioggia VOR we take the M859 airway, and we will follow this airway towards all these waypoints to the final waypoint, which is Golas, which is here. And from Golas we will start our standard arrival. We are actually parked at Venice airport at the terminal here, parking 436, and our departure will be the Chioggia 7 Victor departure. So basically our runway is 04, and then after takeoff we will make this right turn and then direct following bearing 202 to Chioggia VOR. From Chioggia VOR we will enter airway. Okay, so get into the cockpit and start up the aircraft. Okay, back again into the cockpit and shift up to the overhead panel. And let's power up the aircraft. So battery switch on, standby power and bus transfer on auto, forward left pump on, and we're going to start the APU. So we wait for the APU for the EGT of the APU to come alive. Here it is. Okay, GT is stabilized, and we have the APU generators online, so we switch on the APU. On bus, emergency exit light armed, seatbelt and no smoking to on. Window heat on, and we switch on the APU blade and the packs. Okay, very good. Anti-collision light on. And now down to the FMC for the route insertion. Here we are. So position initialization, use the GPS as a source, but before we have to switch on the after overhead panel. We have to switch on the GPS. So we open the aft panel and switch on the IRS, the left and right IRS, like this, and get back to the FMC. Here we are. Now we can align the IRS. So we check that the position is more or less equal, and then copy this line to the IRS position. The reference airport is Lima India Papa Zulu, which is Venezia Tessera, and we can insert the route from Reno India Papa Zulu to Lima India Mike Juliet, which is Genova. This is a Meridian flight, so MER 1972. Next page, now we have to insert the route here. The first waypoint is Chioggia VOR, so Charlie Hotel India, and then following the airway M859 to Golas waypoint. Okay, we can activate this and go to perform initialization page. Here we have to input the zero fuel weight, which is 55.2, reserves 1, cost index for this flight will be 60, and the cruise altitude will be 270. We also insert the wind at the top of climb here, and our charts say that our top of climb wind is 0 to 2 degrees 043 knots, so 0 to 2 degrees at 043 knots, and the temperature, that level would be minus 45, so minus 45 Celsius. Transition altitude for this airport is 5,000 feet. And then we go to N1 limit page. And for this flight we choose a takeoff 1D rate at that assumed temperature of 42 degrees Celsius. And we can switch to the takeoff page. The departure will be with flap 5. And we confirm V1, VR, and V2 on the FMC. Next we go to the departure page, and our runway will be 04 right, and our departure will be Chioggia 7 Victor, and that's it. We can get back to the route page and see if everything is okay. Chioggia 7 Victor to Chioggia, then Mike 859 to Golas. See the legs page to confirm everything, and check all the waypoints, and check that all the waypoints are correctly inserted. Okay, so we can execute the flight plan. Okay, now we can do a little fire test down the pedestal panel. Here is the fire panel of the 737. We test fire and cargo fire, everything is okay, and the APU bottles, and then we check for the 80s down to the radio stack. 122 is the frequency, 0.0. Okay, we are listening to the 80s.
that you have information boxed up.
So 1002 is the QNH. You can read here, and we have to input the correct QNH. (1002). Okay, that's it. 1002. But on the altimeter, same value. That's it. So we have primary flight display and navigation display, which are still blank, as the IRS is still aligning. And we can check on the overhead. The time remaining for the alignment. Moving this. Okay, we are ready. 0 minutes left. So in a few seconds we shall see the main panel, the main screens coming up. Here they are. And we can go ahead with the airplane preparation. We go to the autopilot section here and input the speed. So in the speed window we have to put the V2. V2 is 148, so 148 in the SMAC window. Heading is the runway heading, so 040. That's it. And our initial altitude will be 5,000 feet. Okay, we switch on left and right flight director, and we are basically done. Next we can get back to the overhead panel. In order to complete the aircraft preparation. So we switch off the after overhead panel. So yaw damper is on, and all the fuel pumps are on. We don't have the center tank. We don't have fuel in the center tank, so we leave the fuel pumps off in the center tank. And probe heat is on, and we can switch off the packs in order to start the engines. Okay, we are ready for the pushback now. So we call for pushback. Okay, parking brakes off and starting pushback. Okay, we are cleared to engine start. So starting number 1 and monitor the engine start here. You can see N2 rotation, and at 25% we open the fuel valve. Engine 1 is starting. Okay, engine 1 is stable. Starting number 2. fuel valve. Engine 2 is stabilized. Okay. We can start the before taxi checklist. So flaps 5 set, and auto brakes RTO, and trim value to 4.9 is set, and on the Ifly panel we can switch to traffic and enhance the scale, make the data visible, and that's it. We also switch on the terrain. Okay, we are ready for taxi. We have a warning, master caution warning, maybe something in the overhead. Okay, the electric pumps are off, so we switch them on, and now we have no more warnings. Okay, ready for taxi. Switch on the taxi light. While taxiing, we have forgot to switch on the engine generators and to give the air again via the packs 1 and 2. We switch on the engine bleed and switch off the APU bleed. And now we can switch off the APU. And we proceed with taxi. Left clear, right clear. Meanwhile, arm the auto throttle and arm LNAV. lining up with the runway, so lights on and strobe lights on, seat belts on, and the pedestal ECAS first test and then on.
ECAS system test okay.
Okay, we are lined up with the runway 04 right, ready for the takeoff. Okay, we are clear. V1 134, VR 136, V2 148. Ready? 40% on one. And toga. Rotate. We have a positive rate, so we are up. Alarm engaged. VNAV. Left turn. Coming to 500 feet. And flaps up. Autopilot 1 engaged. Altitude now to flight level 270, which is our final cruise level. And recycle VNAV. The after takeoff checklist. So flaps up, parking brakes, auto brake off, and gear level off. Passing 10,000 feet now. So, landing lights off, and seat belts and no smoking off. Oops. Okay, so this ends this first part of the trip, and now we will climb to our final level, which is 270, and in the next video we will see the descent and approach and landing of this flight.